we've seen Chinese tech platforms actually leapfrog, I think, a lot of US tech platforms.
A big part of it here, there's a challenge, is that the content rights are such a quagmire.
So this other Chinese content platform site called Douyu TV, it's raised $1.1 billion. It went public last month under the ticker DOYU. Presumably, it will be in the ETF next year. It looks like Twitch for China. What else do we know about this company, Nick?
I think a lot of what they do is gaming and kind of streaming content. There's, I would say, at least 3 or 4 of these big competitors in China. My understanding, I think, is Douyu is one of the biggest ones there. So there's a few other competitors, I think at least one of which is also public, listed, I think, in the US on the NASDAQ. And a lot of these companies have struggled with not yet being profitable, which is basically they're public, but they're struggling with how do you get to profitability. And they have a lot of rising content costs that come from like the big mega stars and exclusive deals, what they try to get with them.
Mm-hmm. Like
versus
not locking in the ninjas of their world.
Right, like when Ninja just went to Microsoft's streaming platform, Mixer, presumably got a big deal out of that. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff happening in the Chinese market because you have not just 1 or 2 of these players, but like 3 or 4 hyper competitive for talent and content, because that's really what drives viewers. And they haven't shown, I think, ability yet to really drive profitability. I think they might actually have lower margins than some of their competitors. So it's to be determined which of those ultimately come out ahead, or if they end up in some cases merging some of them together, which is what we've seen in other markets like ride sharing happen.
Yeah, it's interesting. What this is saying is that they not only have video games, but they're doing live sports, and people are also adding commentary subtitles to videos. So it's not just the kind of like video commentary that you're familiar with on a Twitch, but also the text commentary. They're doing content ranging from sports, variety shows, and entertainment. I think we've seen Chinese tech platforms actually leapfrog, I think, a lot of US tech platforms. Also, I think in social media, I think in messaging, like WeChat.
A big part of it here, there's a challenge, is that the content rights are such a quagmire in the US in terms of actually like getting the rights to be able to broadcast some of that stuff and let people comment around it. Like we've seen Twitch do it with the Gatorade.
But even in messaging, like there is no reason why. I mean, they just were able to really be ahead of the ball on that.
Right. So a lot of what you're seeing with Douyu and the things that they do in terms of enabling people to basically comment around the premium content and streaming and that kind of stuff, I would expect that kind of stuff to start make its way into some of the Western streaming platforms in a bigger way in the next couple of years. Yeah. Exactly. So this one was pretty interesting to see. And there are certain areas I think you can look at China and foresee what will probably come to the Western markets, US first, and then, eventually Europe in some of these areas. Content platforms, messaging platforms, payments, social networking. And financial. Hi, this is Alex Mozed. Thanks for joining us on Winner Take All. If you enjoyed the content today, which I bet you did, please comment, subscribe, and definitely message me on Twitter when we're doing live streams. Also, please note, all opinions expressed about stocks or public companies on the show are exactly that, opinions. This is not investment advice. Don't act on it. WisdomTree licensed Applico's Platform Insights data product to aid in the creation of the PLAT ETF. Thanks for joining us.